Sup shitters, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to this Reviews, where today we have ourselves a track from an act named Reskyou, titled Luv Luv Luv, and if we switch over to here, we got the album art on the screen here. It's very intense. We're going to be listening through this track from start till finish, and just before we go into it, I've listened to tracks from Reskyou like Other Side, If Life and Attention, and I've generally had a really good time, so I'm looking forward to hearing more of this, so let's go. Yeah, there we go. Immediately with those snares. Nice resonance on those toms and stuff, man. It's cool. It's cool, dude. Nice, I'm familiar with the way that Reskyou sounds as a vocalist, and I'm typically never disappointed by her work. She's got great vocal technique and she knows how to hit the right notes, and to not only create memorable melodic motifs with her voice and passages, but also to modulate with those funky seventh chords on the guitar. I mean, this is a stellar performance so far. I'm loving the drums and how supportive they are as well. It's really cool, dude. You can get it. You can pay for it. You can get it for free, or you can pay for it, or something along those lines. That's kind of visceral, isn't it? It kind of makes sense if you think about love, just from the standpoint of it, because often, some people think that you can pay people so that they'll care about them. Especially with stuff like parasocial relationships and stuff like that nowadays. It's stuff that needs to be talked about. I'm sure that's not specifically what we're talking about here, but it's cool to be looking at both sides of love, the need for it, and why it's often difficult to find. Love, 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 love. Oh, now that was fun. Sorry, I didn't mean to play that again. I like the contrast between the chorus sections and then these verse parts. We just rise up there as almost if we're calling out for love, 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 as if why can't we get it? And just we didn't go back into that chorus. It would have been so easy for us to have gone back into that for this 2-minute 20 track. But Reskyou is better than that. We're not going to just do the cop-out, verse, chorus thing, kind of thing a lot of people do. We're going to have a vocoder solo now. It's creative, it's interesting, and it's part of why I enjoy Reskyou's work, because you almost never know what you're going to get. This would have been fun to play, to be honest. That was a sexy as hell solo there. Were they using a voice box or something like that, or a talk box? I really want one of those personally, man. It's so cool. Like, because I think that was put over the chorus motif, if I'm not mistaken, the chorus riff. It's such a change from what we had before with that previous hook line, but at the same time, because you've got that talky element to the guitar solo, it doesn't feel like you're just doing a solo for the sake of a solo. It's a nice combination of those two elements, so it's not too dissimilar tonally, and I love it to pieces, man. It's a really smooth transition because of that. Back into the verse again, cool. Cool. I was surprised you play if you want to price you pay if you want to play. I get it. So we are sort of more going to the point where, people are, is it a literal price though? Are we talking, because I'm still needing my second coffee of the day. Are we talking about a literal payment, or are we talking, I feel so dumb now. Is it a figurative payment, or like a sacrifice or something you've got to make? Back to that modulating sequence there. A bit of vocoder there, that's cool. Great. It was a nice, easy to digest. What I mean is that it was entirely palatable, despite the fact that it kind of runs in the face of a lot of the stuff that we understand about love, you know. A lot of people romanticize love, you know, with that being... Because this is the conclusion. I'm going to get my stuff together in a moment. A lot of people tend to talk about the positive aspects of love or why they need it or something like that. But this track is sort of talking more about, love's all well and good and people want it. And you need it, but you've got to make sacrifices for that, and only then can you potentially get it, because it's really hard to find otherwise. And I just think that's a cool angle. Reskyou, the vocal performances here were sublime, and I love her vocal fry. It's not just her clean vocals that she absolutely nails, but it's also when she gets really intense with it and you get that grittiness to the performance. And like it contrasted really well with those backing vocals. We have the ooh la 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 la, which kind of reminded me of the kind of like really kind of the music from like the 50s and 60s when we used to have those kind of backing vocals, the la 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 vocals. I don't know what the specific name for them is, and I don't want to say the wrong one in case it brings up a completely different thing. But maybe I'll get some education, then I'll figure that out in my own time. But yeah, no, the melodies, we had two distinct sections, of course. We had the verse and the chorus there with a couple of hooks with the main vocals, and the middle hook had that sort of talk box or voice boxy guitar solo thing come in, which was brought back in occasionally within that last little motif there. That love, love, love hook line was brought in so many times, and it just never got old. Love, 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 that's catchy, dude. It harmonized really well with those guitar chords that we had there, those extended bars there. And I liked how we kind of went back to a little bit of simplicity in that hook with the harmonies as well. I think we went back to some triads of some kind, just some major minor chord triads, which helped to balance out the coloration in the vocal sections, especially with the vocal fry and those pad-like ones on the sides. The drums were fantastic. You had that kind of 90s like acoustic kind of rock kind of vibe there, but like that kind of like the sublime kind of stuff. I don't know how to describe the type of drums we had, but the production was solid nonetheless, and the performance was accurate and to the point and exactly what we needed to support the guitar and everything else. The instrumentation, the choices there were stellar, and I'm really happy with how well-rounded it was. From a production perspective, the EQing, the recordings of the actual instruments themselves, the stereo panning instruments, and like especially with those center vocals and then the ones on the sides with the ooh, that kind of stuff. The limiting impression was excellent. Honestly, I feel as if you with the position that Reskyou is in with Love, Love, Love and other tracks that they've done, I really think they'll find some success in the industry. And I know I've probably said it before, but each of these 4 tracks that I've heard from this act, there's probably others as well that I'm not remembering at the moment, but they're all been really, really, really great. And I mean that from the perspective of someone who's reviewed thousands of songs at this point. You really would struggle to find fault with a track like this, primarily because it becomes purely subjective. Because from what I can tell, there's nothing inherently wrong with the performance. All the notes were hit. The rhythms were kept, everything was in a sync and unity, and if there was some experimentation or flexibility like in the solo section of the guitar with the pentatonic and blues scales, I don't necessarily think now is a bad thing. It's nice to break away from that, And hell, you can even have it slightly off and make it stand out and that be a deliberate thing. So any criticism of a track like this is purely subjective, and I feel as if that's not actually... You can make something as good as it can be and there'll still be people who dislike it, right? But I think that Reskyou has, if they continue to do work like this and if they continue to put out songs like this, they've got a real shot in the music industry. And I really hope that they can make the most of what's available now, because they're definitely some of the best. This is some of the best music I've heard from this genre in 2022, at least. Nice and loud without pumping. Very happy with it. And that's effectively my review of Reskyou's Love, Love, Love. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show them some love via their various social medias, and I'm sure they're on digital streaming platforms. I think this one will be out June the 1st, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, June the 1st on all digital streaming platforms. And stay cool, stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time as you need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on. And I'll catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.